All right, guys, just a little more practice on what we did yesterday, matrices and systems of equations. I'm going to show you 1 2 or 2 variable Gauss-Jordan elimination, and then we're on 3 variable Gauss-Jordan elimination. So sit back, here we go. First one says solve the system using Gauss-Jordan. Not sure what I did right there. So what I went ahead and already done is to put the equation into an augmented matrix. So what I'm going to do now, and I always pretty much go the same order like we talked about yesterday. I'm going to try to make that become a 0. 4 doesn't go into 3, so I'm going to multiply the whole top row by -3. Makes that -12, -6, and -33. And the whole bottom row by 4, because that makes my 12s cancel. So my new matrix becomes, remember my top row is not changing. I just changed it momentarily to get rid of that 3 in the bottom row. Add your yellow numbers, -12 and 12, -6 and 4, -33 and 8, and you get to there. Now, what I want my bottom row to be 0, 1 something, so I'm going to divide the whole bottom row by -10, 0, 1. And -25 divided by -10 is 2.5, or just 5/2. Top row is still the same. Okay, so that quickly, I've already fixed my whole bottom row. So now what I want to happen is I want to fix the top row, and I always get my zeros first. So I need that 2 to become a 0. So I'm going to multiply the bottom row by -2. 0 times -2, 1 times -2, and then 5/2 times -2 is just -5. I'm going to add those white numbers to the top yellow numbers, 0 plus 4, -2 and 2, -11 and 5. Bottom row is already done. All right, now, all I has left on the first row is I need that 4 right there to become a 1. So I'm going to divide the whole top row by 4. That becomes 1, 0, 6, 4. 6 divided by 4 is really 3/2 or 1.5. Bottom row is still the same. And guys, once you get there, you got it. And the answer, remember, this is the x column, that's the y column. So my 1x is 3/2. It's supposed to be a 3. 1y is 5/2. 5/2. And there it is, 3/2, 5/2. That's your solution. Not bad at all, Gauss-Jordan. All right, guys, now we're going to try a 3 variable. It's going to take a little bit more effort, maybe just a little. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do every time is make my first column, fix my first column. So I need zeros where the 2 and the 3 are. I'm going to use my top row to accomplish that. So I'm going to multiply the whole top row by -2 so that I can add it to the second row. And when I do that, here's what happens. And remember, I'm not changing my top row yet. That's going to be the last thing that I do. But my second row, I'm going to add the yellow numbers on top to my second row, -2 and 2, -4 and 1, 6 and 2, and -18 and -8. And now I'm going to circle the 3 down here because I need that to go away also. And I'm going to use the top row again. 1 times -3, 2 times -3, -3 times -3, and 9 times -3. Add those numbers to the bottom row. And I'm going to get a 0, which is what I wanted, a -7, a 5, and a -24. All right, now, what I'm going to do now is I need this 7, -7 on my bottom row to go away. Do not use the top row here, because if you do, that 1 in my top row is going to mess up the 0 in my bottom row. And I want the 0 to stay. So I'm going to use the second row. So I'm looking at 5 and 7. Thinking what they go into. They both go into 35. So I'm going to I'm multiplying the second row by -7 so I can get a different sign. Make that a -56. 7 times 26 I'm not exactly sure of. Let me punch it here real quick. 7 times 26, 182. That's going to be positive 182. The bottom row multiplying by just 5 because I want to have different signs. So 25 and then 120. Okay, now I'm going to add. My top row is not changing. I'm going to add my second row, my green numbers, my second row to my third row. And my second row is not changing either. I'm just trying to fix my third row right now. So I'm getting a 0, add the green number, 0, -31, and I get a 62. Now I'm really happy right now because look at my bottom row, and I see a -31 and a 62. And in my mind, I know 31 goes into 62. I need the spot where the 31 is right here. I need that to become a 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the whole bottom row by -31, which is going to make that a 1. And since 31 goes into 62 2 times, that's going to become a -2. So my bottom row right now, fixed. 0, 0, 1, -2, which is what I want, which I already know my z. My z value is -2. Now, I need to get rid of that 8. I'm going to bottom up. I need to get rid of that 8. And I'm looking right below it, and there's a 1. I'm up on the bottom row by -8. I'm going to add that to my second row. And again, my top row hasn't changed yet. It's going to be the last thing that changes. My new second row is 0, -5, 0. And if I add 16 and -26 to get -10, the bottom row is done. Right, I'm getting really close here. Now my second row, look at my second row. That's a -5. I need that spot to be a 1. So I'm going to divide the whole second row by -5. And this spot right here is going to become a 1. So we'll put a 1 there. And the -10, because -5 goes into -10 2 times, that's a 2. So already I know what my y is. My y is 2. My z is -2. I just have to fix the top row. So let's do this first. Let's make that 2 become a 0. So look directly below it. There's a 1. Multiplying the whole second row by -2. And I'm going to add that to, add that to the top row. So when I do that, I get 1, 0, -3, 5. And my second row is good. And my bottom row is good. Guys, I'm one step away, I think, from being there. And here it goes. Here goes that one step. I need, let's see here. I need that -3 right there to be a 0. So I'm going to look at the bottom row. It's a 1. So I'm going to put on the bottom row by 3. That's 3. That's -6. Adding it to the top, and I'm going to be done. All right, so when I add that to the top, 0 plus 1, 0 plus 0, 0, 3 and -3, -6 and 5 is -1. Same thing on the second row is good. The bottom row is good. Guys, once you get there, that's reduced echelon form, which means we just did Gauss-Jordan. My answer is -1 for x, 2 for y, -2 for z. There it is. That's all you got to do on that one, right there. So, wow. The hardest thing about doing that, guys, the math is not hard at all. The hardest thing is getting all the way through without messing up. You can do it. We'll work on it a little bit more tomorrow, just a few. Can't do many because they take so long, but we'll be okay. And I'll see you then.